Anmol Bhansali is now the MD of the company, now joining in on the show. Good to see you and good to have you on board. And I think it's a pretty pressing question given that there's this constant debate of lab-grown diamonds versus natural. And can you just give us a sense as to what the outlook is in terms of pricing, in terms of quality, and this major shift that we're witnessing to lab-grown diamonds?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Before I answer your question, I just want to clarify some things about Goldiam. So Goldiam is a design-led manufacturing and export company that offers value-add finished jewelry to large US retailers and retailers around the world. So we are not a diamond trading company. We are not a company that does plain gold and plain metal jewelry. 100% or near 100% of what we sell is diamond-studded, value-added finished jewelry designed in-house at Goldiam and manufactured here as well for large US and other global retailers. Over the past 35 years, we have been a company that has always focused on net profits and margins. Case in point is that we have one of the best margin profiles in our entire industry on the export side, and have always focused on ROE within all the businesses that we choose to do. Over the last few years, we also have had a robust shareholder return program. Specifically, I wanted to mention that in the last 6 years, Goldiam has distributed over 225 crores in dividends and buybacks to shareholders. And despite this cash outflow, we today still have more than...
Anmol, if I may interrupt you there, the thing is that we're a bit short on time and we want to get straight to business and talk about the outlook. So let's just begin by talking about this huge competition that we're seeing from unorganized players as well within the lab-grown diamonds gaining traction. Just your take?
So yes, we see at Goldiam that lab-grown diamonds is certainly gaining traction. 2 years ago, the product would be maybe in single digits as a percentage of our sales. Today, it's in high 30s, and we think that by the end of the financial year, it could even go up to 50 and cross that as well. In the US, there is phenomenal traction, specifically in the middle income segments that Goldiam caters to. At today's prices, it's almost become a no-brainer to choose lab-grown diamonds over natural diamonds at those particular price points.
All right, fair enough. That aside now, let's give us a sense in terms of your company, because natural diamonds constitute 66% of your revenue. I know you spoke about the mix from lab-grown going up. So what is the overall mix going to be, and how do you see that panning out over the next few years?
So Goldiam, as I mentioned, caters to middle income segments, largely in the US for the time being. Given that this segment has been so impacted by inflation and the general problems of wage inflation, and that they've never really been able to afford large-sized natural diamonds, the shift with lab, given where prices are, has been almost extremely clear. So the transition in the last 2 years has been huge, and we see over the next few years, lab-grown diamond jewelry will be a majority of our sales as compared to natural diamond jewelry, potentially even crossing 50% within the next 3 to 4 quarters.
Anmol, as we understand that you've tapped into new geographies as well, right? And you have ventured now into Middle East. Tell me, how's that market absorbing lab-grown versus earth diamonds?
Yes, so we have ventured into expanding our sales mix and strengthening our sales profile. Middle East and Europe are 2 regions with which we've hired sales professionals in order to cater to retailers in those markets. Lab-grown and natural are both doing well there. Of course, I think natural has a higher share in those markets for the time being. But the introduction and adoption of lab-grown, even in those markets, is fairly clear, and we're very excited to see growth over there as well, along with India in the future.
But tell me, how are the margins when it comes to lab-grown diamonds? While of course penetration is still at an early stage, and like you're saying, as of now, even in the US, it's the middle income segment which is more adopting to lab-grown as opposed to earth diamonds.
Right. So great question. At Goldiam, we are one of the only jewelry companies that has backward integrated into growing our own diamonds. So through Eco-Friendly Diamonds LLP, which is a subsidiary of Goldiam, we grow a significant portion of our diamonds in-house as well. That empowers us to have a higher margin profile in lab grown, which is in its mid to high 20s, as opposed to natural diamond jewelry, which is in the high teens as a EBITDA margin profile.
One day, Anmol, we'd love to come to your labs and actually see the making of a lab-grown diamond.
We'd love to host you, and I'm sure and we'd love to showcase all our jewelry that we do, both natural as well as lab grown. And I think it's fairly clear with the type of jewelry that we do, how and the way we present it. You'd see the consumer shift even in the product that we showcase.
Definitely take you up on that. Aman and I are coming soon. Okay, good speaking with you, Anmol. Thanks for taking the time out and joining in.